So let's teach you how to make a money jar, an extremely powerful money jar, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and cleanse all my items first, and then we'll get started. I'm gonna cleanse all my items with incense. And I'll go through the items as we create this jar, okay? So you wanna have your jar, and I have a jar that has a top, okay? You want to get your jar. The first thing you want to do is, if you have some citrine, some black tourmaline, or some green aventurine, you want to put that in there. And I have everything written down. The black tourmaline is for protection. The green aventurine is for money. And the citrine is for good luck. So I'm going to go ahead and add those things to my jar. I added my crystals, okay? Next, you don't have to do this, but I'm showing you how I make my money jar, how I make my abundance jar, and how Spirit is leading me to make these jars, to make this jar. And when it comes to making money jars, it's always good to personalize it. So what you see me doing here is stuff that you can do, but also at the same time, it doesn't have to be the exact way. You can skip some steps, or you can do some other stuff, okay? I found this, I don't know what it's called, but it came from a tree, and I found out that the use of it is to clear out mucus out of the lungs. So I'm going to use it in my money jar to clear out any blockages, okay? And like I said, I already cleansed all the items, okay? Next, you want to get some rice. Rice is great for abundance. So you want to add some rice to your jar. Okay. So I added some rice to my jar. You can put more rice than that. All right. What else do we need to put in there? Okay, so next we're going to put bank dirt. I went to a bank and got some bank dirt. And bank dirt is good for money and generational wealth. Also, I went to a really busy store and got some dirt from there as well. And that is to be booked and busy and attract clients, right? I also went and got some storage dirt from a storage facility because we want our money to be stored up. We want to be able to have enough money to save. We want to be able to have enough money for a long-term money, okay? So I went to a storage facility as well and got some dirt from there. I also got some dirt from a crossroad because crossroads open doors, open roads, and also help with decision making. And all the dirt that I got from those places, I'll post a video inside of this video. But all the dirt I got from those places, I got at the bottom of the tree by the roots. Because all the roots are connected throughout the earth. So all the energy is being sent throughout the earth. And that is extremely powerful energy. Oh, I also got some dirt from, where did I get this dirt from? I got the dirt from a hardware store for construction, that has construction materials and building materials, because we want our money to build and build and build and build. And like I said, I got all this dirt from the root of a tree, root work energy, because we want the root work energy. So I'm going to put some dirt up in there from all these different places. And like I said, I cleansed all the energies already. Let me show y'all me putting it in there. So we got all that dirt up in there. Okay, next we're going to add some roots and we're going to add some mint. So I got some mint and it has the roots on there. So for the roots, that's to help you manifest your desires and for deep faith. And I'm looking at my notes that I took. That's why you keep seeing me look over. I'm looking at my notes that I took. But the roots are for deep faith and manifesting your desires. And like I said, all roots are connected throughout the earth. So the energy is flowing throughout the earth. So no matter where you go, the money gonna flow. And the mint is for prosperity and clarity. So the mint is going to bring in prosperity. And it's also going to help you keep a clear mind as the money is coming in, as you're making the money, as you're making decisions to get the money, etc., etc. And like I said, I already cleansed all of these items, so I'm going to cut some of these roots up into my jar. Hold on. Yeah, I'm going to cut some of these roots up into my jar, and I want to cut some mint up in there. And also, it's recommended to use green herbs when you're making these jars for money, because money is green. So I'm cutting my mint and putting it in the jar. And I'm not being stingy. I'm putting a good amount. Okay. So I got my mint up in there and my mint roots. All right. What's next? Cloves. Cloves are good for attracting prosperity, banishing evil spirits. Also, cloves are good for good luck and psychic awareness. So you'll have psychic awareness, which means the spirits will give you knowledge on what to do, how to get the money, how to proceed, things of that nature, who you should be dealing with, who you shouldn't be dealing with, etc., etc. Also, they'll banish all evil away from you and away from your business. I also got one rose that's getting ready to bloom, because we want our money to bloom. But I cut it off of a rose tree. And also I do want to, and so I'm going to put that in there. And this is going to bring Saint Expedite energy. So this Saint Expedite, he makes things happen fast. Things happen quick. Okay. So I put my rose up in there. Next, I'm going to put basil up in there. And basil makes your wishes come true. And it's also good for prosperity and protection. So I put my basil up in there. So you see my rose, my basil is up in there. Next, I'm going to put instant coffee up in there, because we want things to happen instantly, okay? I'm going to put instant coffee up in there. And I'm using hazelnut, so sweet energy. We want things to happen easily, sweetly, and fast. So I added that up in there. Next, I'm going to put a little bit of baking powder up in there, because we want the money to rise. We want it to grow, okay? So I'm going to put some baking powder up in there, just a little bit. You don't need that much, all right? Because we want the energy to rise and to grow. We want the money to grow. And in there, you don't have to put no tahini, but I recommend putting some sort of chili up in there, some sort of chili powder, some sort of chili flakes, because you want the money to hurry up and come in, right? We want it to hurry up. So you don't need that much. Just a little bit, because, you know, we just want the energy there. And I just seen 818 on the clock. Next, I'm going to be adding glitter. I learned that from going to a Santeria shop. And that basically attracts the spirits. It gets their attention to come look at your manifestation. So I'm going to add some glitter up in there as well. Next, I'm going to be adding salt. And that's to prevent any interferences when it comes to your money. And I'm using pink Himalayan sea salt. And that's to prevent any interferences when it comes to your money. Okay, what else am I adding up in there? Oh, cinnamon. Next, I'm adding cinnamon. And the cinnamon, where did I write it at? Cinnamon is for prosperity. Cinnamon is for abundance. And cinnamon is also for protection as well. So we definitely need that in our money jar. Oop, it's almost full. Let me hurry up. Next, I'll be adding a pine cone that I found, and I'm going to cleanse it real quick, even though I cleansed everything. I'm going to be adding a piece of this pine cone that I found, just one piece, and pine cones are great for protection. Oh, my dog is barking, speaking of protection. And then I'll be adding sugar, because we want everything to happen for us sweetly and easily. Sweet. We just want it to be sweet. We want it to come in sweetly, you know? There you go. I'm adding this on top, and I'm going to say Psalms 23 and read that over my money jar for success spell. I was saying I'm going to add Psalms 23 and read it over my money jar for success. Okay, so that's how I make the money jar. That's how Spirit led me to make it today. I make it different ways on different days. So yeah, that's what I have for you today. Get into it, okay? Now stay tuned because I'm going to post videos of me going to the different places to get the dirt. And remember, I got it from the roots. I'll talk to you soon. So first thing, well, one of the things you want to do is you want to go to a bank. And I recommend getting bank dirt. That's what we're here for at the bank. And you see I'm at this tree at the bank. So you want to get the dirt from the root of a tree. I'm going to go to the root of a tree. Get some bank dirt. Put it in my bag. Drop some coins. Thank you, spirits, for blessing me with this bank dirt. And then you want to go to a busy store and get some dirt. You want to get it from the root of a tree, okay? Because root work is very significant and very powerful. All the roots are connected to other things. So you definitely want to go to the root of a tree at the busy establishment and get the dirt. I'm putting it in my same bag as my bank dirt. Put some coins. Thank you to the spirits of this land for blessing me with this beautiful energy. And then you want to go to a hardware store because they have building materials. I don't see no tree over here, but that's fine. So I found the dirt. I'm going to leave a coin. Thank you, spirits of this land, for blessing me with this beautiful energy. And I'm going to get a little bit of dirt. That's all I could get. That's fine. You don't want to be greedy. You don't need too much. Also, I see some pine cones over here. So I'm going to grab one of those. The one that's open. This is for protection. So if you can get dirt from a crossroad is a 4-way street, or it could be a railroad.